Hi, I'm Peter Birch and welcome to my channel, CrittaCam. Thank you so much for finding me. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't be scared to hit the bell button as well. Continue to follow my adventures here today. Today we're going to be looking at black-headed pythons and Wayman pythons. You guys are going to absolutely enjoy these magnificent creatures. Welcome to CrittaCam. Today we're in for an absolute treat, some black-headed pythons. Let's see what we've got going right here. Now this guy here, and we're using a hook today, this guy here is known as the sock puppet. And there's a reason why he's called the sock puppet. Now this guy absolutely loves to connect with anything that touches him. So as soon as you touch him, he really wants to reconnect with you. So we're going to be very cautious with this guy, but an absolute gorgeous animal. I mean, look at that black iridescent head. And as you can see, yeah, he's willing to bite, and I'm not willing to get bitten. But an absolute gorgeous animal. Now the black-headed pythons have this big glossy black head. Now there's a particular reason for that. These guys are a burrowing species. They live in the ground, they live in hollows and stuff like that, out in the deserts there. And you can imagine it gets super hot. So the way these guys can handle the heat is they'll go down into the burrow. They usually eat whoever's in the burrow, and look at this guy. I mean, like I said, anything that touches him, he absolutely likes to give a bit of a chew. Now, this is the nature of a black-headed python. See, they particularly just bite anything that touches them. And anything that they come in contact with, you can see they push up against it, like this. Now, that's the reason why when they go down into a burrow and they touch something, they instantly sort of push it up against the side of the burrow and then bite a hold of it. Now, these guys will eat anything they find. They'll eat birds, they'll eat mammals, they'll even eat other reptiles, including venomous snakes. Now, this is getting a little bit scary. Now, as you can see, he's a beautiful creature, and I really don't want him to make connection with my arm, because once he does, he's not going to let go. Now these guys have got really tiny little teeth, but the fascinating thing about those teeth is that they're really designed to hang on. So you can imagine biting into scales is one of those things that's very difficult. And you can see they are very powerful for their size. Now, I'm going to put him back and hopefully not get eaten in the process. And we're going to show you another beautiful snake. Now the reason why we're going to talk about black-headed pythons is because we actually bred some black-headed pythons this year, some absolutely gorgeous babies, and they've hatched. So we're going to check those out in a second, but we're going to put this guy away and we're going to look at the parents. So one of the cool things that we achieved this year is we bred black-headed pythons, absolutely gorgeous creatures. Now this particular girl right here is the one in question that laid a big pile of eggs. And if you don't remember, guys, we actually did a video on the egg removal and how many eggs she produced. She produced a whopping clutch. Now how many? Well, that's a pretty cool guess. I'm going to leave that up to your imagination, but we're going to see the babies soon and you can count the babies and you'll know exactly. Now look at the beautiful creature. This is just a natural form, beautiful eastern black-headed python. And like I said, and you've seen the other one before, sock puppet, he was a little bit on the nutter side. This girl here is a little bit more relaxed, as you can see. She's very chill, but a gorgeous animal. And you can imagine those eggs are absolutely kind of massive, and we'll show you some of those eggs as well, and we'll show you the babies and you can get a bit of a grip of how big these eggs are. Now, these beautiful creatures, like I said, inhabit some of the driest and hottest areas. Now, they need to get down in their burrow, and that's the reason why they're a very tactile animal. Whenever you touch them, they sort of respond very quickly with some movements, and they respond quickly. And as you can see, they're particularly not very fussy about anything they eat. That tongue flickering movement, she's always on the hunt for something to eat, and that's the reason why it's very important when we work with these animals. We work in a nice slow motion, and hopefully we're not going to get eaten. Now, that's the mum right there. I'm going to show you the dad. The dad's a nice black and white. And black and white basically means it's an axanthic. So axanthism is the reduction of yellows. Now, he's over here, and he can be a little bit like sock puppet sometimes. A little bit crazy, as you can see, he just moved in, so he's a little bit jittery. So it's all about food with these guys. And as you can see, you know, he's going to pull back, he's going to act a little bit funny in his cage, and hopefully he's going to calm down a bit. But unlike the female, you can see there's really no yellows in this male. It's all black and white. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous animal. That is a male axanthic. The female is heteroxanthic, so therefore the babies will be either just like mum or just like dad. But all the babies will carry the gene to reproduce more babies just like this guy. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Look at those whites and creams and beautiful black stunning head. How could you not go past that? That's a gorgeous creature right there. Now, like I said before, they do have little teeth, and I tell you what, when you get bit by these guys, it's like a vacuum cleaner. They grab hold and they don't let go. They sternly really grip right on in there, and they try and eat their food as quickly as possible. Now, like all constrictors, they'll wrap around their prey, they'll squash them, they'll try and push out. You know, people think that they crush their bones and their organs and stuff like that. Well, they don't. They actually put a lot of pressure on the lungs, and they help expel all that oxygen out of the lungs. And as the animal breathes out to try and breathe in again, it'll expel, it contracts even harder again, making it really difficult to basically get any oxygen in. So what actually happens is the animal isn't crushed to death, it's basically choked out. It's pretty crazy, right? Let's go and check out the babies. Let's head to the incubator. Well, we've just gone into the incubator and pulled out the babies, but more importantly, I wanted to show you these. These are the eggs. So these are the shells from the black-headed pythons. Now, I've actually packed this one with a bit of paper tissue so it doesn't collapse so much, but they do sort of drop their size rapidly when they dry out. Now, there's quite a few eggshells there. Now, in case you're really wondering, guys, there were 16 eggs this year. That's right, she laid 16 eggs and all 16 babies hatched. Now, remember, Dad was an axanthic and Mum was heteroxanthic, so therefore half the babies should look like Mum and half the babies should look like Dad. Well, let's check out the babies. They're right here. Check them out, look right here. So these are the axanthics right here, and you can see from birth, well, so as soon as they hatch, you can tell they're black and white straight off the bat. And look, here's the normal type. So these guys are actually 100% het for axanthism. In other words, you put two of these guys together, and 1 in 4 babies will look like these guys, the black and white ones. Now, aren't they gorgeous? And look at them, they're very full of attitude already. Mouths open, they're gaping, they're looking quite aggressive and scary. Now these guys are only 3 days old, they only hatched 3 days ago. So you can see that they're a little bit scared and a little bit worried, but that's okay. So what we typically do is we put them in these boxes, a bit of moist paper towel, we put a little water bowl in there, and we leave them in there until they have their first shed. And once they have their first shed, then we'll separate them out, put them in a cage by themselves, and then we'll start the feeding process, which can be an absolute nightmare. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show about the black-headed pythons and enjoyed seeing some of my beautiful hatchling blackheads. Make sure you give us a like if you like today's show. Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for watching CrittaCam.